Hello, Matthew and Mandy. I'm Brian.
I'm Kirsten.
And Davis, our daughter, and Webb, our son, may pop in during this little video. So what we wanted to do for you guys today, as we are lounging here at Lu Chen, rather than typing the answers to all the questions, figured we'd make this video for you guys and hopefully help out. So here is, Mandy, is your email. And so you say that your concerns right now are just about the living space. What can we expect in our apartment? So,
well, first of all, you'll either be at the apartment complex of Lu Chen, or you will be at Lotte Castle with families, is where they typically place those people. And in terms of furniture and everything, you'll get the basics. Like, we got everything basically that we needed, but it's not it's not like everything is taken care of for you. You get the basics on your kitchen, so we've had to kind of add some stuff to it along the way, but you'll get like a set of dishes, you'll get like a pot, a pan, some knives, a cutting board, a set of silverware.
Yeah, it's really like no frills. And we've actually bought some furniture. We didn't ship a lot over. We asked some of the very similar questions that you did. We bought a stand for our TV. We even found something in the trash that really was pretty nice.
And that's one of the beautiful things that at Lu Chen and Lotte, people get rid of glorious furniture
all the time. That,
we're not proud. We have no problem taking it out of the garbage. And actually, one of our favorite pieces of furniture we did get from the garbage. So, so you're always trash picking. It's pretty nice.
But Lu Chen, where we live, is probably the nicest place out of the 4 different apartment complexes where APIS teachers live. So there's a good chance that you guys will end up here because there are some places that are vacant.
Well, we have no idea though.
No,
we're not in charge of any of that, and so if you show up at Lu Chen, fabulous. We will be your neighbors. If you're at Lotte, it's right down the street. You're closer to school. There are a lot of really good things about Lotte also. And by the way, everything is called Lotte. It's like Sears. Anyway.
What should we bring from home or ship? You may need to respond to that in terms of, like, you'll have all your beds, there'll be couches, there'll be chairs. Anything from home is that you're going to ship, I would recommend that you guys bring if you want to make your house more like a home. If there are antiques or something that are family heirlooms or something like that that are going to really help you, as you know, living in Kuwait, I think, Mandy, I think you grew up in Michigan, so... living in Kuwait, you brought stuff with you from the U.S., and it's kind of the same thing here, but I think the basis of your question is what can you expect? Just expect the bare essentials, and then add on to them as you need. So if you need more details on that, let us know.
And in terms of that, there are families who have come from other countries where they did like a shipment of all of their home supplies and everything, and so they're very comfortable in that their home is kind of filled with things and wonderful things. But you can also do really, really well with just bringing some basic stuff. I mean, we shipped maybe like 6 or 7 boxes, and that had the things that we needed for home to make our place a home. But it wasn't furniture. It wasn't, like things to hang on the wall or anything like that. So it's kind of, we run the full gamut of the people on staff here. In terms of what people brought, but most people brought pretty much the minimum.
Yeah, bring board games that you guys probably. Well, I don't know if you experienced that in Kuwait, but here in Seoul, it's difficult to find Western games in English. So bring board games. The other thing too is bring nice towels and sheets and blankets and stuff.
Go to Target. Get some towels, get some sheets, get some comforters.
You'll be in the new ones.
Yeah. So those are the things, like the quality of the bedding here is just not the same.
Yeah.
It's worse than a Motel 6.
But there are places like the arrivalstore.com where you could connect with them, and they have some pretty nice sheets and towels, and then you can purchase them through them, and then they ship it right here because they're based here in Korea. So,
which is nice.
yeah. And also about the adjustment for your kids. We are arriving. I think orientation starts shortly after that. I mean, to just secure childcare. Don't worry about childcare. It'll be taken care of because there are a number of kids this coming year in particular, and a lot of new babies from staff.
Like today, we had a new baby. But in terms of that, I'm on the teacher induction committee that is in charge of your new teacher orientation. And so a lot of the stuff that we're saying here, you will be able to get, we will have electronic copies of all this information for everybody where you live. And so you'll get a schedule of what to expect during those 4 days. But in that you will have childcare, and there will be a schedule for your children, but there will be times where you will we'll need to go to the immigration office, so your kids will need to go on the bus to take care of that. So there are things that your kids will need to be with you, and other things that your kids will be taken care of. So they will be in the building while you're doing the orientation. We will not, while I'm on the committee, we will not be there until till returning staff has to come. So you will be there for the first 4 days with some other people who will help along the way, but you won't meet us until we get back.
And in terms of school uniforms, you need to purchase them through APIS. They don't have them available at local stores. There are some academies and stuff that are Korean where you can buy uniforms at local stores, but not APIS. So what we understand is when you buy a uniform or a piece of clothing for the first time, it's at a 50% discount. If you buy, now I don't know because you have multiple children, all I have to say is just ask those questions when you guys arrive. You'll need to purchase your uniforms through APIS, and they are a little bit pricey. I'll just give you a heads up.
And you need to get 2 sets. There's one for spring and one for winter. And what happened for us, which was wonderful, is that there was a bunch of uniforms left for us from previous staff members of their kids, and so we didn't have to purchase everything new. We were able to just get some hand-me-downs, and that's really how all of this kind of worked, that we all try to help each other out on that. But this is all kind of high-end clothes, and they'll wear it out, and it's good, and it lasts long. We got all of our kids' stuff bigger sizes, so we knew at least they would last 2 years. So that would be something to consider. But it is something that as the year draws to a close, we will start gathering uniforms from people who no longer need them. Yeah. And we just pass them on to the next staff.
Yeah. There are a number of things that we're doing as a part of the teacher induction committee to develop resources for you guys electronically. The trading post is going to be made available, and people are selling stuff. Davis, why don't you come over here and say hi to Matthew and Mandy. This is Davis.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Kern.
Mr. and Mrs.
What
Kern.
you will call them.
And Davis is almost 10 years old, which in Korean is almost 11, because I guess when
we don't really understand it. It's all very confusing. And frankly, outside of Korea, everybody is what the age is that they are. And then you show up to Korea, and it's all very confusing.
Because you're 1 when you're born.
So Davis is going into 5th grade, and Webb coming over here is getting ready to go into 3rd grade. Webb, come over here, mommy side. Mommy side. All right, don't hit the tripod. So we are excited to meet you guys and to welcome you to Korea. We have, it's just a huge family here, and such great support from everybody. So we all know that we're all in this kind of a very similar situation, and we just love it. So there's some more things that we need to share with those guys.
Anything you guys, they have kids, anything you want to tell them about starting at APIS? that you would have
really
wanted to know?
fun.
It's really
You
fun.
get to go to a playground and a field. Bye-bye.
You know, a playground. And
Playground,
a field. That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
And some more stuff.
Anything else that we need to? Yeah, a lot of this information that you guys are going to get is going to start trickling in slowly over the next couple weeks. But it really would be good as you've traveled internationally to start, your shipment plan and get that stuff here and shipped to school.
Well, and in terms of the teaching resources,
Oh, yeah.
that might be something that we connect you with Janice Young and Tyler Beatty, who is the two people that your family is replacing, and they'll be able to help you with curriculum and what resources you need to bring. From my understanding, at the secondary level, most of that is provided.
Yeah, they. I know that I'm working on some inventory stuff now. And the science program really is pretty well stocked, and they got some new stuff in this year, new gadgets that you guys are going to really be well equipped.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Bring deodorant.
Yeah, bring deodorant. That's for sure. APIS, is only 7 years old, and student body's 350, and so there are some things. It kind of functions as like a smaller school. We've got a ton of resources, but there are some things like Kirsten's had to use her personal laptop for things.
We all get a desktop computer, but in terms of mobility, it takes a lot to get a school laptop that you have to kind of convince them of the need, and I just haven't gone through doing that. So a lot of us just use iPads and our laptops and things like that for meetings. And with everything being online, that's kind of what I relied on. That when I decided on what to bring, I ended up only bringing one box of stuff, but I'm a school counselor, so that's kind of a different deal. I don't know exactly what you're going to be teaching next year, so that's definitely something we'll connect you with those people who can tell you more.
Yeah.
We're just not
one of the things that I encourage you guys to start thinking about transportation here, even if you live at Lotte or Luchen, we're really close to the school. But in the winter, we didn't want to deal with the hassle of taking a bus everywhere or the train or walking. So we actually invested in a used car, and used cars come by pretty easily because Koreans don't like to buy used things. Everything they like new shiny things,
which is why we have great trash picking.
Yeah. So
they don't do new things.
We bought a 10-year-old or 11-year-old Kia for like $2,000, and it's a fabulous car, and it gets us to the supermarket, gets us out of town, and it really helps. The other thing we did was we bought some bicycles, so when we're not walking, we're either biking it or taking the car. So with you guys with a couple kids, you want to take transportation, and the subway is very cheap, but the subway, the school's too close for a subway. Even the bus, there's no need to take a bus to school.
We're really within, like at Lotte is the closest, and you're within walking distance, and we're kind of right in the edge of walking, and so we ride our bikes and things like that.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes to walk, 10 minutes to ride the bike.
But in terms of things like to purchase, that we've got the trading post, that if you go on Edmodo, there'll be a trading post link to go to, which is the staff of things that they're selling. Things I would buy from there would be things like fans and lamps. If there's a rice cooker, buy that. Like any small appliances, you can just get it cheaper, and people are just wanting to get rid of it so they don't have to deal with it. But those are those things that really look on that and kind of, because I know we kind of waited because we really didn't know what we were going to need, but there's some things that we could have gotten at that time if we knew that we needed. And those were some of those things I would have. A drying rack, a clothes rack. The apartments really don't have dryers. Everyone dries their clothes because in Korea they are worried that dryers will cause your children to get sick. And so we've got, and it's really easy. in terms of getting your clothes dry.
Yeah. Buy a dehumidifier as well to help in the clothes drying, because then they won't smell. Because with the summers and the early fall really humid, your clothes air drying will still maintain a lot of the moisture, and then you'll kind of get that musty smell.
Like a Georgia swamp, humid.
Yeah. But it's for August and a little bit of September. And so what we noticed was our clothes were kind of smelling like musty. And so we ended up buying a dehumidifier from the LG store across the street. And it was really an amazing investment.
It really helped during that time. And then we don't need to use it until it gets humid again. But we'll be very happy that we have it.
Okay. So that's pretty much the answers to some of your questions. And we're glad to do this video chat. I'll post it on YouTube for you guys, and it's gonna. I don't like to type. I love to talk. Kirsten, she likes to type and talk, so the best of both worlds. There's a million things to do socially, so you guys really won't have any worries about that of going out and seeing things to do.
And we've got a lot of families that we all do stuff together, and we do stuff with the single people, and all the women get together, and all the guys get together, and it kind of all mixes together. Probably very similar to what you guys are used to.
Yeah. So again, one just big happy family, and we're looking forward to you guys coming and sharing the love in Korea. So.
Yes. So there is a Costco here, but we're not kidding about deodorant. Korea doesn't know about deodorant. So go to your own Costco, get a 12-pack of deodorant for the year. That's probably the biggest thing that you really cannot get here.
Yeah. Probably in the black market. Like you can get Choco Pies in North Korea, for like $10. Anyway, we're rambling. Get deodorant.
Get deodorant.
Okay, all right.
We'll like you more if you get deodorant. Really nice to meet you. We hope to meet you soon.